Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Or maybe you already celebrated Thanksgiving. All depends on where you're at with watching this video. As I've been looking at the videos I've been doing the past few years, trying out new consoles and the lot, I found that there's been some I've not taken on yet. I figured this month, while the iron is hot, why not explore some of these consoles? The first one I got was an AV mod at CorgsCon of a Colecovision. I'm looking to do HDMI work with the Colecovision system so I don't have to rely on modded systems all the time. I picked one up as an experiment to see if it worked. At first, I didn't get any sound, but when I tried it a second time, I got what I was looking for. Colecovision, the third among the big three in the console wars. Atari, Intellivision, Colecovision. And on the rear is a special AV mod. We'll see if this helps out with some video. Testing this at first, I had no audio. But after resetting it a second time on the Elgato, the audio came through. Especially with the AV mod. So I got this to work some of the time. Probably enough times for if I ever get more 3DO games, I can experiment with it more. I do have something else in mind that's being worked on, but if I want to do more with the ColecoVision, this I can work with. As you can see, I am playing Donkey Kong, and pretty much having the same luck as I would with regular Donkey Kong. Lives counter is off to the right, and it's definitely of the arcade quality that you would expect, although we're close to it. Donkey Kong looks realistic, Paulino does as well, and Mario looks like Mario, or actually Jumpman. That was his original name. Let's have him be Jumpman for this one, as it's going to foreshadow a little something that I am going to be reviewing later on. But for all intents and purposes, it is Donkey Kong. You're climbing the ladder, jumping the barrels, trying to get to the top, save the girl. And you also have the hammer where you could or try to hit the barrels. But comes up short. When it comes to arcade quality, Colecovision, more times than not, won hands down. But having the better graphics did not necessarily mean you had the better games. I think I explained that with Smurf. When I compared the Colecovision to the Atari version, I felt the Atari version was the superior game, as it gave you more obstacles to overcome. But if you played the Colecovision version of Smurf, yeah, you had a more realistic look, but didn't necessarily have the more challenging gameplay. Maybe as you went on a little later, but it's not like this system doesn't have its charms, which I will hope to explore in the future. It has specialty controllers for special games, super action controllers, roller controller. Well, this has been the Colecovision. So the Colecovision does work good part of the time. I'm still going to hold off for an HDMI mod. It's in the works right now. But this AV mod can work just as well for the time being if I want to take on more Colecovision games, and if I don't want to use a modded system. Next up on the list is a little plug-and-play I got for a birthday present. The C64 Mini. The C64 Mini. So it looks like it's capable of a lot of things. Let's see how much. Told you I'd be revisiting Jumpman again. Only this is called Jumpman 2. And I think this has nothing to do with Nintendo. You have save game, load game, virtual keyboard. With the virtual keyboard, you're basically using the joystick to tap in keys on the side. If you ask me, I think you might be better off using a regular keyboard if you can get your hands on one. Eventually, I decided the regular keyboard was the better way to go. So if you'll excuse me, well, actually, give me a minute because we're about to start the gameplay. And there is Jumpman down below. Doesn't look at all like Mario, but he sure does jump like him. I guess with this one, you're climbing chains, you're climbing ladders, and you're trying to collect odds and ends, but also it's a long way down. And it seems like you're seeing stars when you hit the ground. Spread-eagled. So collect the barrels, or whatever those are. Apparently you also have to watch out for some side dash that comes out of nowhere and looks to surprise you. And obviously he cannot take a fall that well, as it seems like maybe at even the shortest distances, well, he just can't take a landing. And there I am, 900 points, game over. I think with a lot of these, it's just a matter of getting practice. And yeah, you have your own high score listing as well. I'm still tinkering with the virtual keyboard, trying to get your name in. You're better off with the regular one. And I kind of want to try this again, see if we can. Jumpman 2. Yeah, still using the virtual keyboard. I do look at the regular one eventually. But that's more for the basic programming, which we will get to a little later. I want to see how far I can get with Jumpman here. Well, Jumpman 2. And ooh. Took a fall and got hit with the dash. Let's try this again. Grab the long. Still a long way down. Thought that was just a short drop. Nope, it was a whole lot longer. Okay, and a little too much. And just hit quite a few things on the way down. Let's even grab these. Now there was a surprise. The floor opened up on you. Looks like this game definitely throws a whole lot at you. And I didn't do that well as I did the last time. This time it was 700 points. Let's see what other trouble I can get into. Basic. So I wanted to tinker with this one to see how it would work with trying to do basic programming on this. With a lot of the personal computers of the day, BASIC was the go-to language. And while it's probably seldom used now, it's still fun to go back to and tinker with, but also make sure you've got the right kind of manual with you. Here I am trying to use the Atari instructions version of basic programming, trying to tie with it what I know of it, but it does not seem to be translating as well as I'd hoped. And while the 2600 would definitely have its own basic programming aids, it seems like Atari's basic programming and Commodore's basic programming do not mix. But I still want to try to get a program in, so let's try the program that I saw on the box. So 10, print, retro. Yeah, there need the quotations. Retro, space, games. Got a little more to say. Limited, space, no parentheses. Hit enter. 20. Come on, buddy boy. Print. Another quotation. Hello, world. Oh, even back then, I guess it's something of a classic. So, run. And Retro Games Unlimited, Hello World, ready. I think this works pretty good for basic programming. Just practice a little more with it. Boulder Dash. Breakdance. Yeah. Boulder Dash. This is a bit of a puzzler. And I was a little curious about it. So here we are, Boulder Dash. I'll admit I'm a little unfamiliar with this game. Looks like it's a bit of a tunneler. But you also have to make sure you don't get squashed. Reminds me a little of Dig Dug in a way, as you're trying to make sure that the boulders do not hit you. And also, I guess, pick up the gems, but also make sure that you're not crushed by a whole slew of boulders. Let's go. Come on, let's see if we can get through without a boulder hitting you. And, looks like you missed out a gem right there. Oh boy, come on. Yep. Bring him down. I guess you also have to bring him down a little bit here and there. And make sure that the boulders don't crush you on the way. Alright, looks like I held out pretty long for that one. I guess I think you're also trying to get out of the caves. Come on, there's a gem right there. Got it. Got that. Got that. Any further problems? Yeah, I'd say very likely. Try not to jinx anything. Sure reminds me a little of Where's Waldo. And looks like I did not do pretty well over there. So let's try one more time. Come on. Got the gem. And watch yourself. Got the gem. Let's see. Get back to that one. Oh, I got him. Or did I? Ooh, no, I got crushed by a boulder. And that is Boulder Dash. Figure out how things go. You might master it a bit. Some of these games just do seem a little on the complicated side, and this one probably more so. California Games. A lot of systems had it, this game. Even the Atari. But I don't think the Atari allowed you to do 8 players. And it also has you going through trying to choose a sponsor. So, hacky sack is correct. So, pick one game, half pipe.
And I am using a joystick for this. So we'll see how things work. It's called hacky sack, or more like the half pipe, but I do not seem to be doing that well. Too soon for a kick turn. One more. This hacky sack's the sponsor. Still too soon for a kick turn. Game over. So when I tried to get back into it, I then had so many players and sponsors. It's like saving, like compete in all events, and it's like player 1, enter your name, which I would, turret. But then it's like select your team, so I decided to select Bluebird, hacky sack again. Or do I do something different? Ocean Pacific, okay. Now player 2. It's like, okay, how many players are you needing? Can't you just play yourself? Well, I guess not. Player 3. And trying to navigate this, well, with California games, I just found myself throwing my hands up in frustration. This was a game that really just felt like I was banging my head against the wall with it. And maybe if I'm willing to player 5, and also finding the save option on the joystick. Don't rely on the joystick with this. Try to get a regular keyboard. It'll help matters some. But player 6, I don't know how to tell you, computer, but I don't have 6 players.
The C64 Mini, I feel, is good where if I want to tinker with a little basic programming. But I think I also have to be careful about what information I get for use of it. I mean, what books would I get? I mean, what could work for one computer may not work for another. So, a little trial and error, a little getting familiar with BASIC, and there's also some fun games on it as well. Next up is one of the mods that I got from someone that's been doing some work for me. An Odyssey 2 modded to HDMI. Let's check it out. This is the Odyssey 2, modded by friends over at a operation called RetroHacks. Check them out, retrohacks.net. They do good work.
Get used to seeing this screen. This will be seen on most Odyssey games. Well, practically all the Odyssey games as they come out of Magnavox. The Odyssey 2 was a system that had very little third-party support. I remember Magic came out with a version of Demon Attack. I think there might have been one other game, but I can't be sure. What you're playing here is a little game called Alien Invaders. If it seems similar to Space Invaders, you would be right. But also, there's quite a few differences here. Are you blasting aliens? Yes, you are. But the little difference is the aliens are shielded themselves with a rotating shield on the bottom. And the shields you have beneath you are actually your spare bunkers, where if you lose one, you're a stick figure trying to get to a new one. So, and when you're a stick figure, you can't fight back. You're just running around, just trying not to die. A lot of Odyssey 2 games made use of well, let's just call them adjusted properties. For the most part, it worked for Magnavox and the Odyssey 2's favor, but with one notable exception that I think I'll probably get to at a later time. Yeah, but for alien invaders, you are operating a bunker, you are blasting aliens, and trying to blast them all. There's a mystery ship up top, but unlike Space Invaders, as I mentioned before, the aliens have their own shields for protection, and you don't die right off the bat. You just lose your bunker and you try to scramble to get a new one, which was not in the original Space Invaders. So, choices like that probably kept a lot of arcade companies off Odyssey's back. For the most part, like I said, there was one notable exception, which I will likely look to cover another time. You have your lives counter off to the left. I'm not exactly sure what the 0 is. And try to blast through. Yep, lost your bunker, so try to get to another one and try not to lose them. But the shield below the invaders really make it hard because you're trying to blast through them to clear your board. And the mystery ship just doesn't hover up top. It does come down to your level. And yeah. You're done. You're gone. It's okay, I guess, but I think the bigger thrill comes out of Space Invaders. Some would call this a knockoff, and you could see how. But it also makes it different enough that it passes its own thing. And here we are with Breakaway. It is, if it looks like a clone of Breakout, you would be right. But like with Breakout, well, Odyssey does its own thing, where you have bigger bricks, but you also have people you're trying to get out of the blocks, apparently, and make sure the blocks don't fill in. It's a harder control, and the paddle is a lot easier, at least for me it is, because trying to keep up with the joystick speed, and it just does not. And, well, apparently you're also not supposed to catch the falling people, I guess. Or if you are, you're not sure really how to go about it. Okay. And you're also just trying to make sure you can bounce the ball off the paddle. This version is now Breakthrough, which, well, you go through the blocks easier. And again, this is another game that Atari had, or at least a version of it, if you check out the Breakout cartridge. And yeah, you go through a whole lot more, but well, I'd say Breakout is probably the better game. This does have its charm to it, but and yeah, I can go back to play this again if I want to be extra practiced at it. I'll say if you really want a good Breakout experience, just stick with the original Atari. And nothing beats the original. At least I think so in my book. Oh, looks like I've cleared that board. But it's still... Oh, I seem to be doing a better job here. Okay. But moving on. Pickaxe Pete. This was someone I felt could have been chosen to be Odyssey 2's mascot character. You're a miner with a pickaxe, trying to get out of your mine. And you're armed with a pickaxe, but you don't seem to hold it that well. And if you're hit, you fall down spread eagle. There's some areas you can't get through, and you have boulders coming down I'm not sure I'd say it is a maze or a platformer. And I guess you're trying to get the key to get out. The key does not stay. This is reminiscent of Donkey Kong on some levels, as one, you have ladders to climb, and you also have obstacles to overcome. Instead of barrels, you have boulders. Instead of a hammer, you have a pickaxe. I guess hence the name Pickaxe Pete. And I guess you're also able to do some diving jumps. Deaths are pretty much your left is you just left spread eagled. Wasn't able to get the key that time. He's up there, but only for it to disappear again. And that did not work either. I think with Pickaxe Pete, you're not supposed to get the girl, you're just supposed to get out of the mine. And try not to lose the pickaxe. Eventually, even if you do, you'll find you can get it back later. But I think it would be nice if you were to find a way to not lose it at all. And, done by all three, and left spread eagle just as the key was about to show up. Pickaxe Pete is definitely a game of challenges. It's different enough to not be called Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong ripoff, but you know the similarities are, well, pretty close. And this is Odyssey 2, making it its own games, but based on older games, enough to be its own thing.
The game system for Odyssey 2, it seemed like they adjusted some classic titles, made some tweaks here and there to make them seem different than the games they're supposedly based off of. You look at Alien Invaders, and that's Space Invaders, with a few differences here and there. Breakaway, Breakthrough, you can get Breakout. Pickaxe Pete, I think that was one of two choices that Odyssey 2 could have had as a mascot. There was another choice, but he got the company in a little bit of trouble. I'll probably discuss him at a later date. Odyssey 2 is officially in the mix. I can make use of the original system connected to HDMI. I don't have to do a whole bunch of fancy reworking. Just plug in the HDMI and play to your heart's content. Get the right game and have the right amount of fun. The Odyssey 2, I do kind of like. Again, I probably should have gotten into basic programming, the basic programming program for it, because the Odyssey 2 was meant to be more than just a game system. They wanted to be a home computer as well. Some believe it may have fallen short of that goal. Maybe, maybe not. Tinker with it a little more. Probably get a better answer. Next up, how should I put this? This is one of the most unique and probably special, and has been one of the most expensive systems of all time. Even on a collector's market, it still nets a pretty penny. Panasonic's 3DO.
Developed by Electronic Arts, founded by Trip Hawkins of the Madden Football Series fame, the 3DO had a spectacular mix of not only computer animation, but also live-action video games brought to life through your TV screen. Panasonic was one of the lead developers of the 3DO, and there are two models of the 3DO in play as of, well, not as of now, because, well, 3DO is pretty, well, it's one of the systems of the 90s. However, it was also still a very high-priced system of the 90s. It was believed that a 3DO cost around $700 or $800. And even now, as you go on to a yard sale or a gaming expo, you can get one for around $200, which is still, while cheaper than it was before, it is still pretty high-end now. The mix of 3DO games can be arranged from computer animation to live-action games, where you have real live actors playing the roles of characters in the game, or you can use a computer animated image. Computer animated images give you the effect of being part of a game, but live action really brought home the realization for a lot of these games, as you had a real life player that real life character that you could interact with. When I had the 3DO years back, I enjoyed the system. However, when it broke down, I just didn't see any point in carrying the games. But when I came across the 3DO again at a sale, I just had to pick one up. And it still has the same appeal then as it does now. As I take a look at the live action imagery of the 3DO and other live action games at the time, I feel like something got lost in the gameplay, and that live action became just a fixture of the 90s, with CG models taking over future gameplay. You can play a lot of the 3DO games and you can get mixed results. Some games you'll have a hard time getting through, and other times, well, you might have a little more fun with. But regardless, CG game or live action game model, the 3DO was a very impressive system for the time, even despite its price. However, the price was, sad to say, a major turn-off point for a lot of gamers, at least until much later, until some could acquire a 3DO.
The Panasonic 3DO. Yeah, you can take a look at the price tag. That's how much I paid for it. Even on the used game circuit, it still costs a pretty penny. Not as much as it did before, but still costs quite a lot. Let's see what she has to offer us, shall we?
One of the, let's just say, featured titles for the 3DO, Shockwave, Invasion Earth 2019. On board the UNSF Omaha, you are one of many pilots trying to thwart an alien invasion that is already landing on Earth. You are a pilot by the name of Wildcard, image not on file, because despite everything, the 3DO still could not scan your face. So you take off, head on to Earth, and you just try to blast these
Lieutenant, this is not a drill. Your mission is active reconnaissance over the Nile Delta. Heavy alien activity reported at Giza and Cairo. Set recon scanner for auto-record.
Our mission is to destroy all alien invaders in Egypt. Your main objectives are the Valley of the Kings, Giza, and Cairo. Omaha will send us a refueling drone just before we reach Giza. My first scans already show alien signals among the ancient ruins on the shore. Concentrate on the aliens and avoid the structures.
The woman on your screen was Lieutenant Elena Stewart. She was your operations officer, giving you your orders and looking to guide you along the way. Look out, parasailer. And the computer is ICE, who gives you pointers and tactical advice as you fly on. Yep, there are your walker aliens. Gotta blast through those. I remember playing this game years ago. I was able to get through to some levels, but as the gameplay went on, when it came to certain challenges...
This isn't a game, Lieutenant.
Oh, I guess Elena was not happy about that one. But, yeah. Some of the challenges you had to get precisely correct. And by the time, there's one where you had to stop some alien ships from blasting some F-15s. Unfortunately, it meant you had to make sure they didn't blast any of the F-15s. And unfortunately, I was not able to do that. And no matter what I tried, I could not stop
the Valley of the
a ship
Kings
from
lies
getting
just ahead. It is
destroyed,
essential that we
and it just
eliminate
wound
all
up
alien forces at this location.
replaying that level over and over and over again and going nowhere. It was one of those games where, despite the enjoyable gameplay, you hung your head up in frustration. And you also gotta be careful about the flying ships. Fortunately, you got sights. Also, make sure you don't lose too much laser power. You want to try to last as long as you get to the drone. Make sure you don't go outside the specified path laid out to you by the sensors. Otherwise, you will be attacked heavily. Basically, stay on the path and blast the aliens ahead of you. When the targeting sensor's red, start blasting. Yep, got that one. And, okay, here's another coming your way, and another one after that. It does seem simple enough, but...
You're doing just fine.
Ooh, thanks for the word of advice, Elena. Pressing on, but yeah, your shields are low, your thrusters, your laser's almost gone. Not sure you have a whole lot of missiles left. Okay.
Great work. You've cleared the Valley of the Kings. Your first mission
Get
objective.
that guy. You really want that drone. Yeah, and you're really running out of laser power. Yep, now I'm gone. All you got left are missiles, at least until you can get to the refueling drone. So yeah, you gotta be careful of your shields, your weapons, and your thrusters. Another flyer. Great.
Eyewitnesses in Moscow say that Russian Air Force jets were in the air for less than a minute before being shot down by the alien fighters.
Good to know. But you need that refueling drone, and you need it now. Where are you? And nope, more aliens, and all you got left are missiles. So make them count.
Our refueling drone is still in the air. It's
Okay.
just ahead.
Gotcha.
To dock with the drone,
Gotcha.
simply
And there's
fly
your
under.
refueling drone.
Alignment
Come
is
on,
critical.
sweetheart. Let's charge me up. You are charged up. And back in the fight. Unfortunately, you have taken some damage. It's still blasting. Just be careful. Yep, heavy fight right here. And already lost some of your shields and some of your blaster. And unfortunately, looks like the drone is outside. Yeah, you could probably go back for it, but you're going to have to go through a whole lot of off path. Yeah, they want to. Yeah, it's like you can recharge, but then you lose it just as quick. So don't let it fall outside your path, otherwise you will be SOL. Although your lasers and your thrusters are still charged up, you've got little to no shields, and you're going to be taking some hits pretty quick. And you've got some heavy aliens coming your way. And watch out for them. Flyer. Yep, you're just going to take quite a few hits and you're going to lose a life. But you just have a few left. But I think I've given pretty much a good indication of what Shockwave is about.
Whoa, way to go!
Well, she's having fun. But yeah, you're off path again, and one more hit and you're done for. And, well, you got him. But yeah, you can't take another hit.
There are Egyptian tanks ahead, defending their refinery. A stray shot could ignite the
Here we
structures
go.
and damage us in the blast.
Alright. Got him. Alright. And then, yeah, there you are. You're done.
I probably should mention Shockwave. I think it really highlights everything that the 3DO is capable of. Live action video, pretty good graphical gameplay for the time. But I remember playing it years back, and I mentioned this before, there was always some section I could not get past. So I kind of threw my hands up with that game back then. But now having acquired a new one, maybe I might try giving this another look again. I've always loved the live video aspect of the 3DO. But when the 90s ended, live video became a thing of the past. People started trying to CG models more, and not live action actors and live action video. Sure, you had voiceovers, but using video added a certain amount of realism. But the 3DO also allowed for computer graphics gameplay as well. And one of the best systems ever, the best games ever for the 3DO, Gex by Crystal Dynamics. I've been wanting to review this game for a long time.
Gex by Crystal Dynamics. A story of a gecko that has watched way too much television. Excuse me, I'm going to be quiet for this entrance.
Let's get it on!
As you see, there's a storage deck for your levels.
Of a Dick Clark special.
I like this storage deck a little better than what is usually done for the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn versions. Their save system, I just can't quite master. Cemetery.
Nice slime, boys. Nice touch.
I'm trying not to speak so much because I love Dana Gould's quips in this.
I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Okay. Your offense is the tongue and your tail. But also, yep, find level remotes to turn new level TVs. You twist your tail, and question mark gives you some helpful hints.
This would be great for my collection. One for me and one for me.
And make sure you grab the golden flies. Power up. Yep, tail whip power balls. You can also climb up the walls. Some sections you'll be able to climb a wall sideways. Yeah. Also be careful of the enemies. And it also has its own surprises. Run down button to get extra speed. Flies also work like Mario. You get about 100 flies, you get an extra life. I like Dana Gould as Gex. I'm having a hard time getting extra speed. I know another actor overseas played the role of Gex, but for me, Dana Gould will always be with the role.
Soylent Green is good.
Soylent Green is good? Has he seen the movie? Oh wait, yeah, he has. What hasn't he watched? Trying to see if I can get those flies up top. Having a hard time.
Soylent Green is good.
And some of the lines may even be reruns, but I don't think Gex minds reruns too much. Wasting enough time here, just going to press on. Hitting enemy.
It's tail time.
And there you get his catchphrase. It's tail time. Trying to get the tail or the tongue to work here. Give me a second. This is a power up. As you can see, you got a lives indicator up top. Hit detection. 3 paw prints.
Geronimo!
And I took an extra hit power up there. Only to lose it later. Now here we get into some tight corner action here. Got the flies, but this is where Gex's climbing on the walls comes in pretty handy, as there's some narrow crevices that he can crawl into to get some special items. And an exploding flying TV. This is definitely fun, or rather amusing. I really want to see if I can get to that tight spot up ahead, but having trouble getting to stick up there. Give me a few minutes. Well, give me a moment. I'm going to skip ahead. Jumped ahead a few seconds. Made it. Let's see what happens. Static portal, equivalent of a warp zone, takes you to another section of the maze. I guess a little backstory could call into play here. Gex is a gecko that's watched way too much TV.
I'll take this, and this, and this.
And he has to face off against an enemy called Rez, who wants to use him as a mascot.
If this were a plane crash, I could eat the other passengers.
Static portal gets us to another section. See what we can come up with now.
Sliding platforms. Making my way across. Jump up. Ooh. First death. Static and a fall.
Like the shine, boys. Nice touch.
There's another I kind of miss. Where he says, "Geez, Scoob, let's get back to the mystery van."
Ah, Detroit. Pearl of the Orient.
Never interrupt a gecko when he's making a comment. And slap that.
Hey, cut Need it, need it, need it.
Yeah, I would say he needs it. Not me again, but here's a new power-up. It's a super speed power-up. Missed the question mark right there. That's the tail.
I am so hot.
Grab the flies. Still trying to keep on going.
I don't eat anything but this.
Probably need to change your diet, Gex. It's golden flies and probably junk food.
Okay, riding down the enemy. Power up. Let's see. Come on, reach up. Try to got through the tongue. Moving on. Enemy. Ooh. Wrong button. Click more golden flies. Wonder what's down here. Got a clearing with a static portal. Walk into the light. The static. Use the tail. Get some more flies. Break the bricks. Couple more. Going up. Again. Couple more. Now, how do you get out of here? Ooh, static portal again.
Go in here.
Okay, little room. Use your head to get out. Okay, now you climb up.
Oh yeah, it's tail time. Oh yeah, it's tail time.
True that, Gex. And ooh, a camera. What's that? Yep. You basically tail whips camera to take a snapshot of your progress. You die there, you can start from there. So it's a checkpoint. Okay, climbing along. One of those floating old TVs with a chopper blade. Some of these enemies are kind of fun. See zombie geckos, heli TVs.
Got my eyes, I can't see.
I'll take this, and this, and this.
Not to mention the zombie geckos. Ooh, health power up right here. Ooh, it's the guillotine for you, Gexy.
That's what I call getting some tail.
Now the platformer. Going for a ride. Another guillotine. Another heli TV. Fun gameplay, but I think at some points you do wonder when you're going to get to the next level. Forgive me for a bit. I'm going to skip ahead to the next interesting clip. Right now what we got is him getting a bunch of more flies and then going through the platformer again. Oh wait, he's about to get hit. So, oh yeah. Okay, maybe I won't. Let's see where we go. Well, from here. Right, so jump up here. Walk.
I know when I'm not one.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I'm not one too. But here, ooh, bonus level. Pick up some more golden flies. Oh, like Mario with the coins. No, not yet, Gex. Not yet. Not ready yet. And let's level up with the flies. Oh, Lord of the Flies. Well, actually, I don't think Gex reads. Actually, I don't think you like the movie.
I don't eat anything but this.
Back here. Back to semi-reality. And at the risk of sounding cliche, are we there yet? And the answer to that question is no, so I'll skip ahead here. So after a bit of aimless wandering, I was able to find a special section. Okay, pull down once while jumping to tail bounce on enemies on blocks. Hold up. Super spring. And there's your goal, the remote. So what do you do now? And there's your answer, you go down. Power up. Watch out. Jump and pull up to stick to wall surfaces. This is new. Yep.
Read that book.
And watch out for the geckos up there. Still get some flies. And continue walking till you reach the other side. Down, platformer again, jump up, platform again, jump up, platform again, then in front of the exit, and press to exit TV, exit, and then a final commentary from Gex, and go to the next level.
Ha! That is wild.
Yeah, it is, Gex. Yeah, it is.
I know overseas a different actor played the voice of Gex, but for me, Gex is always going to be Dana Gould. I love his witticisms, I love his commentary, and I love how he plays the role of Gex. The gameplay is also fun as well. It's a platformer, you have many levels. And yeah, I do recommend you do it on the 3DO more than the PlayStation or even the Sega Saturn where another port of it exists. Mostly because the 3DO, you have a better save system. I'm still trying to figure out whether I'm doing something right if I try the PlayStation or even the Saturn's save system, which involves finding a tape somewhere in the maze. But even if you don't have a 3DO, even if you have the PlayStation or even the Saturn, even if you can figure out the save system for both of those, Gex is still a very fun game. You will have fun and you will enjoy it. To conclude, I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. After that, Christmas madness gets started. Christmas shopping, getting up the tree, and just trying to get through life as you're trying to prepare for the holiday season. But regardless, I'll still look to have a Christmas video next month. Stay tuned and enjoy. Don't forget to check me out on social media or leave a like in the comments below. See y'all next time, and don't forget to click and subscribe. But wait, that's not all. Stay tuned.